So I wanted to share with you this piece that I created that started out originally as just a sketch in my sketchbook, but I really like the concept and the inspiration behind it, so I decided to turn it into a larger piece. And watercolor is my favorite medium to use, and I thought this was like a thick board, a Canson board, and I thought it was mixed media. But as I was applying the watercolor, it obviously wasn't. It didn't like absorb into the paper at all. It just kind of stayed on top. But it actually turned out okay, and created a texture that I kind of liked with this piece. It wasn't a texture I was initially going for, but I actually kind of like it overall. And so the inspiration behind this piece, well, I titled it Slow Dancing in the Dark, which is named after the song by Joji, Slow Dancing in the Dark. And the initial sketch that I did like maybe a month or two ago. It was the day the song came out, and I was just listening to it on repeat, and I just let myself draw to it, and this was the sketch that came out of it, and I really liked the idea. I really liked the concept, and I wanted to turn it into a bigger piece. So this was the part while I was painting where I really started to realize that this wasn't multimedia paper, because the watercolor was not absorbing into the paper at all. And as I added more water, instead of, blending out or absorbing into the paper, it just stayed on the surface and started to drip down if I added too much water. And at first I was like, oh crap, like this isn't working, like this isn't what I wanted. But as I continued painting, I just kind of like let it drip down naturally, and I actually really liked the texture it gave, and I think it provided a whole like new depth to the painting that I didn't initially plan out. But in the end, I really like what it added to my painting. And I really like this concept because just the title, if you haven't listened to the song, just the title, Slow Dancing in the Dark, obviously you think of dancing. And I didn't, an original thought would be, draw someone dancing. But I instead drew a girl or a person sitting there, her back turned, she's obviously not moving, but where the movement comes in is the hands. Hands, like, hardest thing to draw. When I first started drawing, it was like impossible. I did everything I can to hide drawing hands, but now, since I'm decent at it, they're actually some of my favorite things to draw because they add so much emotion and so much movement. So instead of her dancing in the dark, the hands are the movement, the hands are dancing, and I just think that's a really cool concept. So the next day is when things started to get a little rough. I decided to put some colored pencil over the watercolor layers. I really like that. I usually put some colored pencil over my watercolor. I just used Prismacolor colored pencils to add some more definition to some parts, to make the shadows a little stronger and add some more texture. So you can see here that I'm deciding on a blue background, a blue-purple background, and I was really struggling, and I thought maybe I should use a red to connect it to the music video some more, but then I was like, no, this piece wasn't based off the music video. Also, red wouldn't go well because of all the red and pink in the skin, so I decided to just go with my first thought of this blue-purple, and it really did not. This is where I started hating it. This did not come out well because of the paper, the material of the paper just not wanting to absorb the watercolor at all. It's so streaky, and I decided it's fine, it's just part of the texture. And it's kind of growing on me the more I look at it, but it was difficult to work with. It was difficult to cover this large of an area with the paper just not wanting the watercolor at all. But it was okay. I don't really like it too much, but I needed a color in the background, and I think the color was okay. And then to finish it off, I went over the outlines with a gold colored pencil instead of brown. Brown would have been too harsh, but I just wanted like a soft outline. And if you look really closely to my painting, you can see my pencil marks, because it gives it kind of a loose, unfinished feeling, and that's the kind of look that I'm going for. But overall, I like this piece, and I'm impressed if you listened to my cringy rambling about my process. But thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching and all that good stuff.